All right, so this first box is just reminding you what a reference angle is, okay? So because the range of these inverse trig functions are restricted, oftentimes we have to use that information to figure out the reference angle in order to actually solve the problem, because sometimes there's more than one answer, right? So we have to take the information we're getting from these inverse trig functions and use them to find the reference angle, and then from that figure out all the solutions. All right. So let's take a look at an example to show how that works. All right. So in example 7, we want all the values of theta between 0 and 360 degrees, which satisfy this equation. Sine theta is equal to 0.9063. Okay, so let's just kind of visualize what that looks like first. So I'm just going to draw a little unit circle. And I know that my sine value is about 0.9, so that's pretty high. So let's say it's about there. Okay, that's a sine value of 0.9. It's going to be very close to, well, closer to 90 degrees than not. But so it's somewhere about there, right? Now, when I solve this equation, right, sine of theta is equal to 0.9063. Right? I'm going to put this in my calculator. I'm going to do the inverse sine. So theta is equal to this inverse sine of this sine value, right? 0.9063. Put that in my calculator. Now I'm going to put it in degree mode because, all right, so in degree mode, make sure you're careful about what mode you're in. Degree mode, right? Because I want my output to be in degrees because it's asking for an angle between 0 and 360. All right, when I do that, I get that theta is approximately equal to 65 degrees. All right, now, but I'm looking for all of the angles between 0 and 360 that give me a sine value of 0.9063. Okay, so that's one. That's the one in the first quadrant here. But if you notice, there's going to be another one here. So I'm looking for a positive 0.9063. So this angle over here, if I just come straight over, if I were to, my circle is not very circular, but I'm just coming straight over from the other one. This angle over here also has a sine value of a positive 0.9063. Right now it's in the second quadrant. So what is that angle? Well, you can see they have the same reference angle, and that reference angle is 65 degrees, right? So this angle over here is 65 degrees, 65 degrees. Get too much information on here, 65 degrees. That one's also going to have a reference angle of 65 degrees. So the other angle is going to be essentially 180 minus 65 degrees. So the other one's going to be 180 minus 65 to give us the other angle, and that's 115 degrees. Okay. And if I look at my unit circle, are there any others? Well, there are other sine values that have a magnitude of 0.9063, but they would be negative, right? Anything down here in the third or the fourth quadrant, those have sine values that are negative. So, but we have a positive. This is a positive value. So those are all of the angles between 0 and 360 degrees that have a sine of 0.9063. So those are my two answers, 65 degrees and 115 degrees. All right, I'll meet you in the next video for the next example.